Hello everyone, welcome to the second in my series on Vedic Nakshatras. We're looking at Bharani Nakshatra occurring between 1320 and 26 degrees of sidereal Aries. Let's learn about this nakshatra ruled actually by Venus but also Yama, the god of death. It's a little bit misunderstood, but it contains enormous power and wisdom. Let's find out the secrets and also the secrets of how to use nakshatras in our chart. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to sub below. If the video is good for you, give it a thumbs up. Let's go. First of all, everyone, what exactly are the nakshatras? Why are they so important in astrology, and when and where do we use them? Put simply, the nakshatras are the night sky, or the stars in the night sky, the constellations we see in our galaxy. They're actually linking us to the higher lokas and bringing our karmas down in a mystical way through the nakshatra into the rasi, into our life. Parashara has written, God has decorated the heavens with constellations like pearls on a dark steed. The light of the sun hides them in the day, and all knowledge of them is divined in the darkness of the night. The word nakshatra actually means protecting the night from destruction. What is being protected from destruction? Our minds. Because these nakshatras are moon ruled. Because the moon is the lord of the night sky, and only in the night sky do we see these constellations. In the same way, sun is the lord of the daytime, lord of the day, and he rules the sun signs, of course, the rasis or zodiac signs. And both the moon and the sun are working together in this way. Nakshatra and rasi, zodiac signs, working together, we have real astrology. Don't forget, the stars are the basis of astrology. The rasis or zodiac signs come from the nakshatras, not the other way around. In fact, they can never be separated. Nakshatra must always fit in with the rasi exactly. With the sidereal zodiac, this is always happening. If they are in any way separated, true prediction, true astrology is not possible. Let me illustrate this for you. Here's an illustration, everybody. Kara Pandit Sanjay Rath of the 27 Nakshatra scheme. It shows us perfectly how they map mathematically together with the rasis. On the outside are the 27 Nakshatras, and every pada mathematically and perfectly linked with the sidereal zodiac on the inside. And more importantly, there are actually 3 portions to the nakshatra scheme. Can you see 3 equal divisions that are occurring at each Gandanta break? Gandanta is where water sign meets fire sign. Cancer, Leo, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Pisces, Aries in the sidereal zodiac. And these Gandanta dangerous crossings, danger points, switch points affect all of our karmas. And this break, this threefold division of this nakshatra mandala is very important because it is relevant to our lives. First is the early childhood and adulthood portion of our lives. Second section is our middle adulthood. And third, late or old age. And you map these in your own chart, starting with your birth nakshatra, the moon nakshatra. More than that, you can even make exact predictions of every single nakshatra and meaning in your life from your Janma Nakshatra. So many predictions can be made. I will definitely make some future videos bringing these up for you. Right now, let's start with the basics. Let's understand the 27 nakshatras in this series, and most importantly, the ones that you should be looking out for in your birth chart. So which nakshatras matter in your chart? Well, I've just shown you every single nakshatra, whether a planet is there or not can be used to make predictions. But definitely wherever there are grahas, including Rahu Ketu, those nakshatras are important for you. But still, let's cut it down to the bare basics, everybody. I would say there are 4 important positions in regard to nakshatra that you definitely need to study and to understand. First and foremost is the moon or Janma. Janma means birth nakshatra. This is most important. Now, the moon is the mother, and the moon Janma Nakshatra actually relates us genetically to our mother's biological line. Some of that psychological and biological karma coming down is actually shown in this nakshatra. And secondly, moon is society. So moon Janma Nakshatra shows us how we get on with other people, how we move in society. So much of our outer experiences in life can be seen from this Janma Nakshatra. And many fundamental personality traits can be seen from the moon Janma Nakshatra, definitely. Not from the Lagna so much, not from ascendant, ruler, ascendant, all of that. No, it's the moon, it's the mind, it's the Janma Nakshatra. Don't forget, personality changes all the time. As you get older, you'll see it clearly. Personality develops through life, changes just like the moon. So study your Lagna or Ascendant Nakshatra. This will show you how you integrate yourself with society as a physical body. What do you look like? How do you dress yourself? How do you present yourself to other people as a physical being? And how intelligent are you? Or more importantly, actually, what do you do with your intelligence? How do you make decisions? And very important, do not delegate understanding of the sun, of Surya or Ravi Nakshatra. This is so important. How do you maintain vitality? So much to do with health, actually. Lagna and Nakshatra, some way to do with health, but sun very much so. And how do you maintain dharmic action, righteous action, and spiritual development also linked with this sun nakshatra? And definitely understand your Atmakarika Nakshatra. This is so important. Atmakarika means the highest degree planet in your chart. This contains a whole heap of karma that will bring very difficult circumstances into your life. Lord of this Nakshatra, Lord of this Atmakarika Nakshatra will help you actually to deal with these karmas. Important to understand most definitely. By the way, if you're not sure what is your highest degree planet, check at the bottom of my description box. There's a website there where you can bring up your birth chart with the Atmakarika listed, and indeed all the nakshatras in your chart. Bharani Nakshatra, then the second in the nakshatra scheme. The Lord is Venus or Sukra. The symbol is the yoni, the female reproductive organ, and the deity is Yama. The color is blood red, just like the previous nakshatra Aswini. The purpose, though, is Artha, which means to gain material resources. The best direction is west, and the body part, the lower feet. Bharani Nakshatra, the female power, the power of new life, the power of birth, but the power of tremendous struggle, pain, and ultimately transformation. You will have many struggles in your life when you have Bharani strong in your chart. You will have to go through extreme circumstances, but in the end, you will be able to come through to a whole new beginning. The key is restraint. You will have to either restrain yourself or you will be restrained by circumstance. Why so much struggle? Why restraint? Because Yamaraj, the god of death, rules this nakshatra. Yamaraj is the actual brother of Shani. Shani contains our karmas, sorrows, difficulties. He will bring definitely because of what we have done before. But we can try to bargain with Shani. Please reduce my karmas. Let me do this austerity, whatever. But we cannot bargain with Yamaraj. Why not? Because we only see him when we have left this world. Too late then to change our karmas. So what an opportunity in Bharani. A complete transformation can take place of the whole energy which moves us in this material world. Bharani contains the potential to leave the past behind. What needs to be transformed? What do we need to change? We can see by the Lord of this sign. It is Sukra. It is Venus. It is around Venetian issues, matters of Sukra, that a complete transformation has to happen in this lifetime. Venus rules the pleasures of life, all of the sensual enjoyments of life, but also he rules most specifically sexual intercourse and producing babies. That specific karma, let me tell you, around children, childbirth, everything else, you have to see your chart. That's specific to your chart itself, 5th house, 9th house, See my Lord in all the sign videos to get much more detail. But Bharani itself, wherever it's placed, is about the pushing forward into a new life through pain and difficulty, but through transformation. But what has to be left behind? Excessive materialism, excessive sensuality, or will have to be controlled. Yet the purpose of this nakshatra is artha. Artha is material acquisition, getting wealth. Basically, you are pushing for this. This is something which is a big struggle sometimes when you have Bharani strong. You are struggling for this, perhaps excessively. The symbol of Bharani is the female reproductive organ. Basically, it's about childbirth. It's about pushing out new life. But childbirth means restraint. You have to hold in and push. It's a push and pull thing. It's painful. It's not easy. And this is what happens when Bharani is strong in your chart. You are pushing to create something big in your life, but you have to restrain. You cannot just go full out for anything. Bharani people know it's through self-control, discipline, that you will gain the best things in life. Bharani is connected to the goddess energy, having extreme fertility, definitely. Extreme fertile ideas, able to express yourself in a witty and intelligent way is definitely part of this nakshatra. Finding creative solutions to your problems. Bharani can be very, very brilliant at this. Sometimes because Bharani influences fertility, sometimes those elements of your body can be very, very sensitive. There can be diseases or some issues around the reproductive organs. But again, it's not necessarily going to happen. You have to see the whole chart, 6th house, 8th house, etc. But the pitfall for Bharani, however, comes in the intimacy of the Venus factor. It often happens in relationships and in close contact with others. Bharani is a very sensual nakshatra. This is where you're going to have the control, because sensuality can go to extremes in some people influenced by this nakshatra. Sexual matters and sexual relationships, marital relationship, affairs, all of these things can become complicated, can become difficult, obsessive, and can cause a great deal of difficulty for Bharani people. You see, everybody, Venus is the ruler of Bharani, but the sign is Aries, ruled by Mars. When Venus and Mars come together in any connection, like in this nakshatra, you are going to have that Gandanta effect, that difficult, dangerous meeting of water and fire elements. The fire of Aries is inflaming your desire, but the water of Venus is cooling it down. There's a push and pull thing. You can become obsessive in relationships, pushing forward, full of desire, but then you will pull back. You will always pull back, and it's this push and pull factor that can confuse romantic partners, confuse the whole relationship situation. Problem is also that Bharani people are very charismatic, very attractive to other people. People are pulled towards you consistently, but you're having to push them back. You are pulled in, but then you're pushing back. So only by finding middle ground, by being ethical in relationships, by being honest, fair, trustworthy, can you find peace of mind. The battle is inside you. That's the thing. It's about your restraint, your control, your discipline. And this is something that's important to understand. It's not that Bharani people are not trustworthy. You are definitely trustworthy, but other people become confused by this push and pull factor in your nature. The strength of Bharani, you see, is in the definite patience you have, the discipline, the willingness to think things through. You are not really impulsive, sometimes in relationships occasionally, but you are really thinking everything through with a great deal of internal debate. Power of Bharani definitely comes from the ability to analyze your mistakes. When you make a mistake, you go through it. You really analyze it, and you don't normally make that mistake again. This is a very powerful factor. Of course, because Yamaraj, Lord of Punishment, is ruling this nakshatra, you get frequent raps on the knuckles. Oh no, I shouldn't have said that, shouldn't have done that. You are being guided where you need to transform, guided where you need to change. And the best thing, you normally listen to this and you make the necessary changes. Another factor about Bharani, of course, is that Saturn is debilitated in this portion of Aries. So this need to struggle, this need to work hard is very strong. Bharani people can work, super hard workers. But sometimes all of your work doesn't seem to be getting you anywhere at all. Temptation is if Bharani affects 10th house in any way by the position of this nakshatra, rulership, 10th lord, etc., all of these things, you need to not get yourself into a downward spiral, giving up, changing all the time because you are not having immediate success. You have to put in the effort. You have to put in the discipline. And this struggle affects Sun in Bharani, definitely at Makaraka Bharani, where you have to keep on struggling, have to keep on pushing through the obstacles. But you become more expertise. You get actual more success by doing this. You have to have high ethics, really strong ethical factors in your working life when you are strongly influenced by Bharani. The biggest tendency of Bharani will always be to extreme belief systems, fanatical belief systems, going on extreme diets, for example. Venus can even tempt you into this. Extremes of anything. And this is the most dangerous factor. Whenever you are tempted into some extreme position, you have to pull yourself back. And this particularly affects the moon, Janma Nakshatra in Bharani, because your mind is being pulled into these fanatical factors. You really have to analyze everything carefully, but don't become obsessive about things. But for everybody, Ascendant Bharani, Moon in Bharani, Janma Nakshatra here, Sun and at Makaraka. Bharani is a testing nakshatra. You will be tested many times. Do you take the easy route, the lazy route, or do you discipline? Do you do the hard work? Do you restrain yourself and become ethical? You know which way you have to go. Hope the video was instructive to you. Look forward to your comments. Don't forget to sub below if you're new. Goodbye for now and God bless everyone.